doing that hostessing job because Betty's sick.
Good morning. Welcome to Church Within on this Sunday. All the songs I've planned today are kind of repetitive, so feel free to join in. Last night I heard a sweet voice calling, come along, won't you come along home? Wind on the river and the calves are bawling, come along, won't you come along home? Come along, won't you come along home now? Night is falling and the path is steep. Come along, won't you come along home now? Water's running and the river is deep. Every night the voice gets bolder. Come along, won't you come along home? Song gets sweeter as I grow older. Come along, won't you come along home? Come along, won't you come along home now? Night is falling and the path is steep. So come along, won't you come along home now? Water's running and the river is deep. Water's running and the river is deep.
Good morning. Okay. For those of you who have copies of the teams for Sunday, it says Betty today, but Betty is home ill, so let's all just send her our love and healing thoughts, and I'm going to sub. And in case you don't know me, my name's Reverend Jane Kercheval. Welcome for being here this morning in person. Lots of folks smiling at me. I'll bet bunches of them are Jenny's friends. And welcome to all of you out there watching home on YouTube. So welcome. Let's see. What do we do first? What? No, we don't. You were doing that before Mark sang, but we'll do that again. The first thing we do is start with a breath together. So if you will take a nice deep breath, let it out slowly. Let yourself feel yourself being here, right where you are. Join me in a new breath. Feel yourself as you breathe. Follow the sensations of the breath. Sometimes when you inhale through your nose, you can feel the cool air making its way down into your lungs. We breathe so that we can be fully present where we are and when we are. We do that here every Sunday, and you can do it wherever you are, anytime through the week. Take a deep breath and let yourself be right exactly where you are. We let our thoughts of what has been and what might be fall away just for now. We let ourselves be present here in this moment. And we breathe together so that we might be about the work of community, becoming community together. We are so much more together than we are alone as individuals. So thank you for being part of this community this morning. and making us who we are. Every Sunday, we light a flame. It's a visual reminder that there is something within each of us, something eternal. A lot of us call it the light. Sometimes that light feels dimmed by the goings-on of life and the craziness of the world. And we come here together to have that little light that may have felt dimmed be rekindled again. Sometimes it's kindled by what we received from others and their presence. Sometimes it gets kindled by what we are able to share with others. And I'm glad you've chosen to be here at the beginning of this week with us together in this way. So again, good morning and welcome. And now, we do, as this initial suggestion, do a quick walk around if you feel comfortable doing that, saying hi and giving hugs and hellos. If you're not comfortable sharing hugs, feel free to stay right where you are and give a little wave and a smile to those who pass by. So let's take a few minutes to greet each other. Online, use the chat. I think there's a chat with YouTube to say hello to each other. Or send each other a text. I know. I'm letting you hug it out and get back to your seats. It's wonderful to see such love shared. Appreciate that. We'll also have, after this morning's service, a brunch. First Sunday of the month, we always have a brunch. So there's more time to chit-chat and meet up with folks that you haven't seen for a while and share information. Does anybody have any announcements for this coming month, this week? It is March 1st. Spring is closer than it was last week, even though we had one of those wonderful 70-degree days in February. Wow. That's a good point, Fred. Thank you for bringing that up. That's an important announcement. Everybody remember that twice a year we change our clocks. And March 8th, next Sunday, is Spring Forward. And if you all have automatic clocks like I do, they do them on their own, thank God for that. But I do have a kitchen wall clock that has a battery, so before I go to bed, I set it ahead so that I don't freak out when I wake up in the morning. So we spring ahead, move your clock an hour ahead, which means we lose an hour of sleep. I hate this part of the year. An announcement.
So we have our soup schedule filled for March and April, but if anybody would like to join the soup team, please see me because we could sure use a few more.
And for those who are new around here, the soup that people bring in is wonderful. So, on the first Sunday, we always do a brunch. The rest of the Sundays, we have soup and whatever other things people donate, but the soup is always very lovely and hearty. Any other announcements? Anything I'm forgetting? Okay, normally we would ask the kids, the youth, to go over to Sangha, but because of a special message this morning we have from Jenny Hopwood about Jamaica, the kids are staying here to get that information so they're updated on some world news. We now have another song from Mark Proctor and Renee. Thank you guys for being our music this morning. After that, we'll have a meditation and prayer from Jeffrey Barnes, and then a wonderful message about the update on Jamaica.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. 'Cause I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Good morning. Here at the Church Within, we meditate to release the clutter of our minds, to disconnect from whatever's going on outside these walls just for a moment, and to connect with Source. So if you would, please find a comfortable position in your chair. Let the seat support you. Feel the ground beneath you. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so, or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath. One more deep cleansing breath. Again, feel that seat beneath you. Feel the ground at your feet. And now bring your awareness to your heart center. But not just the physical heart, but the sacred space within you where love lives. Imagine a soft light there, a warm, steady glow. This light is love. The love of the divine. The love that creates, sustains, and connects all things. The love that knows your name. The love that has never and will never leave you. With each inhale, imagine this divine love flowing into you. Gentle, healing, restoring, cleansing. And with each exhale, let go of any belief that you're separate from it. And for a few moments, let's sit in relative stillness, quiet. Keep breathing deeply and focus on that love in your heart center. With your next deep inhale, see that light in your heart growing even brighter, even stronger, steady and abundant. Because there is an abundance of love. There's enough, there's more than enough for all of us. It moves, it flows between us. Picture someone in your life, a friend, a neighbor, someone sitting near you now. See that light in your heart extending gently toward them. No force, no fixing, just sharing love. Now allow that light to widen even further to the community where you live, to those who are struggling, to those who may feel alone, even to those with whom we disagree. Love, when shared, multiplies. Imagine this love, your love, our collective love, radiating outward into our city. Into this entire country. And around the earth. One love, many paths, one sacred connection. When you are ready, gently return your awareness to this room. Carry this love with you into every conversation, every action, and every moment. And now let us have a moment of prayer. Divine love, thank you for dwelling within us and among us. Help us receive your love fully and share it freely with every person we meet. May our lives become vessels of compassion. Our words carry kindness, and our actions reflect your sacred presence in the world. Amen, and so it is. The foundation of the church within is prayer. If you have a need for others to pray with or for you, there are some ways that you can do that. You can go to thechurchwithin.org, place it there for a prayer team. to see and pray for. There are a couple prayer boxes here in the building, one to my right, one at the front door. And if you have an interest in someone praying with you today, I'll be available for a few minutes after church. Thank you.
Two seconds to set up. Morning, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much for bearing with me on this journey that Jay, myself, and a good friend of mine, Christine, took. I want to send a special thanks to my peeps for showing up. They brought me to tears. So we have two screens on, just for those who can see and not see. This one, Raven said, is a little bit clearer, so hopefully. Is everybody hearing me okay? Yeah, okay, cool. Good morning, everybody. Everybody knows my name, Jenny Hopwood. I wanted to share with you a community in Jamaica whose healing I witnessed in the aftermath of a devastating hurricane, and the seeds that we helped plant in hopes of supporting that healing. Let's first talk a little bit about community healing, especially after a crisis. When a crisis strikes, whether it's a natural disaster, a conflict, or a public emergency, our lives can change in an instant. Homes can be lost, routine shattered, and a sense of safety we once took for granted can disappear overnight. In these moments, it's completely natural for our brains and our bodies to shift into survival mode. Our survival brain is doing its job just to keep us safe, and we can start to feel a little disconnected, anxious, and numb. It may seem like the world has tilted on an axis in many ways, and it has. Yet within this chaos lies one of our greatest tools for healing, our community. In the aftermath of a catastrophe, communities often find healing through shared purpose, whether it's neighbors rebuilding homes after an earthquake, a hurricane, volunteers distributing food, and individuals sharing their stories to comfort others. These actions tell the brain we can still create goodness in the face of loss. In times of crisis, it's easy to feel small against the enormity of the world's pain. Yet every act of compassion, every moment of courage ripples outward quietly, rewiring not just our individual brains, but our collective ones. Healing is a shared process. When we breathe together, listen together, we rebuild together. We teach our nervous system that our communities, that they can safely return, that even after devastation, we can rise again. Now, let me tell you about how the seeding, the planting unfolded. In early November, after Hurricane Melissa hit my beloved home of Jamaica, I received a call from an old friend who lives in one of the hardest hit communities, Treasure Beach. My friend is an entrepreneur and a passionate community leader. On the call, he asked me to provide support for the community in whatever way I could. As someone who believes in the power of groups and the power of community healing, I jumped at the opportunity to give back, and give back in the only way I knew how. And that was getting together to create a safe place for people to talk about their feelings and experiences. Once back in Jamaica at the end of last year, I was able to meet with key community members of Treasure Beach and brainstorm with them their needs, their wants for support. The group decision was made to provide 4 psychoeducational support groups over 4 weeks for the Treasure Beach and surrounding areas. Let me tell you a little about this incredible community I've known and loved since I was a child. As you can see, it's way down at the west part of the island, Kingston being on the northeast, and where we stay usually is up in the north part of the island. Treasure Beach is located in Jamaica's southern coast in the parish of St. Elizabeth. It's a quiet, very quiet 6-mile stretch of 5 distinct bays: Fort Charles, Billy's Bay, Frenchman's Bay, Calabash Bay, which we know the best, Great Pedro Bay. It's also known as the home of community tourism. Treasure Beach also has a strong community based on family kinship, farming, fishing, and a small, thriving guest house and cottage industry. Okay, Braybird said that there we go. The parish of St. Elizabeth is a major agricultural hub, producing significant amounts of watermelon, scallion, cassava, sweet potato, tomato, cabbage, zucchini. It's our little breadbasket of the island. The first two are lettuce and beets. The last one, this one here on the left, is looking down into the valley, and then they're famous for their watermelons. The parish is also known for its close-knit, welcoming communities with a passionate sense of local identity. Then, in the end of October 2025, Hurricane Melissa hit badly in the Treasure Beach area. Hurricane winds, along with 15-foot waves and 30-feet wave surges, devastated this beach community and surrounding areas. Hurricane Melissa was a catastrophic 5 hurricane that struck Jamaica, becoming the most powerful storm ever to make landfall on the island. The diagram here shows where the eye went. So to the, I'm thinking on my right, where it says St. Elizabeth, just in that little bay, that's where Treasure Beach is. Reaching a peak intensity of 185-mile sustained winds, it caused over 100 deaths across the Caribbean. Melissa made landfall on October 28, 2025, near New Hope, Westmoreland. This is about 20 miles west of Treasure Beach. The storm literally destroyed the town of Black River and left 500,000 residents without power. Recovery efforts are currently still ongoing 4 months later. Excuse me one sec. My water boy, can I have my coffee? He's good for so many things. Thank you. Thank you. One sec. Okay. Recovery efforts are currently still ongoing months later, with the Bank of Jamaica noting that the island's economy may take up to 4 years to recover. As of early 2026, many rural areas still lack full electricity, water, and road access. Schools have opened as of around February 2026, but due to finances, families have not been able to send their kids back to school, so a lot of schools are empty. But let's go back to the groups. Initial contact, there they are, wonderful ladies that they are. Initial contact was made with a small but influential community organization in Treasure Beach. It's called the Treasure Beach Women's Group, TBWG. It is a community-based benevolent society located in the center of town. Treasure Beach Women's Group is dedicated to the advancement of the community, serves as a hub for education, health services, economic empowerment. It's one of the main pillars that keeps that community together. Groups are facilitated by myself and an old good friend named Christine English. She's also a therapist. Sessions were held at the women's group. We worked together in creating a forum for our groups, specifically looking at the trauma that the community felt, experienced, and dealt with. Christine and I looked at trying to foster healing by creating a safe environment for the community to process their feelings and emotions after Melissa. First, we helped them name their trauma, normalize their feelings, and we set out to teach them self-soothing skills such as tapping, breathing, meditation, and grounding skills. In the last 2 sessions, discussions were had by the group members of how do we take this further. So they wanted to look at more continuing care, support, and outreach for their community. Here's a little overview of topics covered and some demographics. I'll just go over some basic stuff with you. So we had the 4 sessions kind of looking at coming together, getting them to name feelings, and kind of look future bound, and then look towards the community. We had a total of 18 persons attend the sessions. About 85 completed all 4 sessions. Mostly everybody completed 3. And we had a good core group of about between 10 and 12 people showing up. And people came from out around the Treasure Beach area, but also further out, miles up. I don't know how they heard about it, but they came. Ages ranged from 2 to 82, and the attendees were primarily women, but we got 2 men. Yay. In group, members shared their stories of living through the devastating hurricane, their struggles for survival. Homes were lost, farms were devastated, fishing boats, and the vital fishing industry was decimated. Group members opened up about the difficulties about the aftermath, cleanup, and rebuilding, which is still going on today. When we left when was it, Jay? The 17th of February? Many shared their feelings about being overwhelmed, talked about flashbacks, panic attacks, but there was also much talk about the gratitude for life, and the tremendous support that they received from the community, local and foreign agencies. At the end of the session, the group members decided that unfolding a plan of action was their motivation, and they wanted to support the other community members that were really hurting. They looked first at children and men, specifically the fishermen who had been so devastated. So contact was made with the fishermen, and groups have been starting to be set up for both support and education. They also started to follow up with local schools since we finished, and July Children's Fair was going to be put together, and they really wanted to do an open group and do some art therapy for the kids. And then Christine and I set up a WhatsApp group so that we're able to chat to the participants and chat to the members and continue on with the work. These workshops were small. It was a drop in the bucket to what we believe was needed in and for the Treasure Beach community. Christine and I felt we were able to plant a seed, we were able to water it and fertilize the seed. In this process, we hope to provide a vehicle for expression and healing in the community. And since we've finished the groups, it's been wonderful to witness and hear about how group members have already run with so many ideas that they brainstormed. And we believe that the seeds of Treasure Beach have begun to sprout. Many people have given back. Many people have given back in so many ways. When a community comes together to help each other out, it creates a strength from within, a bonding, a spirit of togetherness, a healing for the community. Help came to Jamaica and to Treasure Beach in many forms, from small communities cooking their own food and taking it to other communities, members of families helping each other out, to large non-governmental organizations and community-based organizations assisting many local communities, both foreign and, when I say foreign, it's overseas, brought much help and supplies and bodies to the country in aid and support after Hurricane Melissa. 2 of the main donors that I witnessed and have mentioned previously here at the Church Within were the World Central Kitchen and American Friends of Jamaica. Know that these weren't the only agencies that helped out, but I had promoted them before I went down, so I wanted to give you guys a little update because I know some people donated to them, so just to see what they've been doing. They contributed specifically to the human healing, not just physical recovery. Together, these organizations address both the immediate emotional stabilization of the communities through food security, through human connection, through visible action and care, and also long-term psychological and social recovery. They provided institutional strengthening, child and family support, and community empowerment. In simple terms, World Central Kitchen has helped feed and make people feel cared for in a moment of crisis. And the American Friends of Jamaica has helped communities feel supported for the long-term journey of rebuilding. Christine and I believe that after Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, it's not just about building homes. It's about helping people and communities process trauma, restore dignity, strengthen emotional well-being, and support one another through shared recovery. For the future care of the country and of Treasure Beach community, this recovery needs to continue, we feel, and needs to involve in the following ways. And these are just suggestions that both Christine and I are looking at for the future, but have also put towards the community leaders in Treasure Beach. We want to look at mental health and psychosocial support integration into programs, into schools, child-focused emotional and educational recovery, community events, more community outreach, economic empowerment and cash assistance, partnerships with governments and NGOs and foundation and local leaders. These layered efforts, we believe, aim to ensure that communities emerge stronger, more connected, and more resilient than before. And I think a lot of what people don't realize is we had a hurricane about 1 year prior to Melissa that was as devastating, which was Hurricane Beryl. So internalized systemic kind of infrastructure has to be created because they've been battered so much. We know that reconstruction rebuilds buildings, but communities heal and rebuild people. We believe that community healing after trauma is essential because trauma not just affects individuals, it ripples through families, neighborhoods, and entire communities. When people experience trauma, whether from violence, natural disasters, loss, or systemic injustice, the emotional and psychological impact can isolate individuals and fracture social bonds. Coffee. Treasure Beach allowed us in because they believed. They believed in their community, and they believed in community healing. They believe that community healing restores the connections. It creates spaces where people feel seen, heard, and supported, reminding them that they're not alone in their pain. Through shared dialogue, mutual support, cultural traditions, and collective action, communities can transform suffering into resilience. Healing together fosters trust, rebuilds a sense of safety, and strengthens social networks that protect against future harm. It also empowers individuals to move from silence and stigma towards understanding and hope. When communities commit to healing like Treasure Beach did, they not only help members recover, but they also lay the foundation for growth, unity, and long-term well-being. In this way, community healing becomes more than recovery. It becomes a powerful act of restoration and renewal. Without healing, communities may recover physically, but remain emotionally fractured. With it, they emerge stronger, more connected, and more resilient. I want to read a blessing for our church within community, but also for the Treasure Beach community in Jamaica. May this community be blessed with courage, the courage to come together in times of pain and in times of rebuilding. May we recognize that healing is not meant to happen in isolation, but in shared spaces where stories are honored and tears are welcomed and hope is restored. May we be gentle with one another, understanding that every heart carries its own unseen burdens. May compassion flow freely among us. May listening ears replace quick judgments, and may open hands replace closed doors. Let unity grow where there has been division. trust rise where there has been hurt. And may our collective strength remind us that no one stands alone. When one of us stumbles, may many hands lift them up. When one rejoices, may all celebrate. May forgiveness soften what pain has hardened, and may love mend what hardship has broken. May this community become a place of restoration, where healing is nurtured, resilience is strengthened, and hope is renewed for generations to come. And may we always remember, when we heal together, we thrive together. So in Jamaica, we have a little expression, we little but we talawa. And that means we're small, but we're strong. I want to acknowledge my hubby for all his hard work in helping us get together, editing, and putting kind of a nice Velcro around me on this process, because it was beautiful to do, but also very hard, because I was very hurt and torn by what happened to my country. And I want to also thank my dear and beloved good friend Christine, because her insights and her knowledge helped us in this journey. But I also just want to thank the Treasure Beach community for trusting us and allowing us in, because this wasn't easy for them to acknowledge their pain and their trauma, but they did, and they opened their arms to us, and we're now, I can say it's my community now, because they've involved us in. So thanks very much. I don't know if we have time for questions, but if you have questions, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what's their, I'm sure a lot of people are still in temporary housing. Yeah.
There's no real shelters per se that have been offered. The churches and the schools had opened up. As of when I last heard when we were down there, there were probably about 13 schools that were still open. Because what happens to the country is infrastructure is damaged. Buildings are blown down. The whole of Black River is one of the oldest towns, and they have no buildings left. So a lot of people have migrated out of the community and into others, but other communities, though we were 20 miles apart, away from it, it was devastated too. So it's hard. A lot of groups, especially AFC, Food for the Poor, are bringing in temporary housing, zinc and wood, just to put up for shelters. But still, the day we left, the Tuesday we left, a friend who lives down there just got electricity. So that's over 4 months later, but she still doesn't have water. So there's still a lot. 6 hospitals were decimated on the western side of the island. So I know China sent in a boat to do care. It went from the Falmouth, which is a northern parish, all the way around to Black River. The Belgian and the Canadians brought in some medical teams. I know we've got teams from around, so they're trying to rebuild. The hospitals have temporary shelter. They're not built back yet. Yeah.
So it sounds like the UK and Europe helped more.
I didn't say this, but yes. But there are also other agencies that have come in. Governmental U.S. agencies are far and few, but a lot of small, community-based, church-based, group-based. American Friends of Jamaica is a vibrant community that has helped tremendously. I think they raised $9 million, $10 million US, and they're bringing in container loads of prefab houses, and they've picked probably 6 communities that they're rebuilding. Yeah. Yes? Yeah. Well, what happened with Melissa, let me see if I can go back. Oh, here we go. What happened with Melissa is she came from the east. She went all the way down past Kingston, past Clarendon, past Manchester, and then because of the trade winds and the Gulf Stream, she flipped and turned right. So that line, that bottom line is not correct. It hugged the coast and then turned, made a right-hand turn and went straight across the island. Yeah. So you can see that a good third of the island went through Major. I mean, when you're on the eastern part of the island, like when we were in Kingston, you hardly know, except there are no fruits. We had no bananas, nothing, no papaya, as you guys call it. So anyway, I just wanted to share our story and what we did and the seeds we planted, and I thank you all for listening.
Bind us together, oh, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, bind us together in love. Come out of sadness from wherever you've been. Come broken-hearted, let rescue begin. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, bind us together in love. Lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. Come sit at the table where no one will blame. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, bind us together in love. Lay down your hurt, lay down your heart, come as you are, we'll do our part. Bind us together, oh, bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. Bind us together, oh, bind us together, bind us together in love. Yes, bind us together in love.
Thank you, Mark. That was really beautiful. And I love the words in that song because we are bound together, not only as living beings on this planet, but we are personally bound together by someone as dedicated and loving as Jenny and Jay have been to return to Jamaica and bring the love of our community to them through their service. I would ask you all to continue to hold that community in your heart and in your love. If you can support them financially, that would be wonderful too, because we're all one, and it's hard for us when we live in a comfortable place, in a comfortable home without that horrific kind of weather. It's hard for us to remember that we are one with those people who are dealing with those traumatic results of what's happened to our world. And at this time, we are going to do our prayer for, I had it here somewhere, for the offering. Is it up there yet? Yes, all right. So if you'll join with me in the offering prayer. Beloved Divine, all that I am and all that I have comes from your limitless supply. I am an open and willing conduit through which your good flows. I share all that I have as you direct. Love, friendship, prosperity, peace, abundance, and joy are gifts that I share and receive. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Amen. And the ushers and our youth are passing the baskets. So if you feel comfortable sharing today, we would appreciate that. You come in this side or that side? Come over here. We thank you, beloved divine, for those present today who are able to share with us. We thank you for all the gifts that come into this church online and through direct contribution. We thank you for everyone's prayers for this community here and in Jamaica. We know divine abundance exists, and we ask for your guidance and wisdom in the use of these wonderful gifts to grow our community, to support the community of Jamaica who needs all of the love and support and abundance that we can share. We keep them in our prayers and in our hearts and in our minds so that they may prosper and return to some semblance of normalcy. We ask for your divine guidance in the use of these community gifts so that this community here in Indianapolis can also find a new home and grow and become all that you want us to be. Thank you and amen. We now close with a closing song, which will be on the PowerPoint, and then there will be a final blessing.
All people are holy, many past one God. All people are holy, only love is real. No matter who you are, no matter where you've been, let's gather together and let the Spirit in. All people are holy, many past one God. All bodies are holy, only love is real. Only love is real.
May the peace of God go before us into this glorious week, and may the peace remain wherever we have walked. Peace above us and below us. Peace to the right and to the left. Peace within and without. Peace in the face of everyone we meet. Peace in the words to everyone we greet. Amen.